numbers.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. We got Thursday night football tonight, so you already know we're bringing on our guests that covered the team from Sunday morning quarterback. So you already got Chuck up here with us. We got Jude coming in with us shortly once we get through the MLB best bets. But we're going to keep it clean and simple, short MLB slate. So we'll start off with that. Each drop one play. So you got three games covered. And then we're going to get into probably a long football analysis debate from X's and O's to game plan to betting to props to fantasy to whatever the hell we want to talk about because that's what Daily Bread does. We bring in the best in the business and we just let them talk. I'm probably going to sit here. Sosa will definitely argue because you already know, but it's all powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be tapping in with them for football season, European soccer, all that good stuff. Slide right into there. We appreciate everyone tapping in with us on Twitter. We got the link up in the title. So jump in over to YouTube if you want to be with Chad, Liam, and the rest of the fellas and ladies that are going to roll up, draw their best bets, roast their takes, agree with their takes, say the sky's blue, whatever the hell they want. We got the number one subs out there. We appreciate them tapping in. Sosa, everyone knows how you already are because you've probably been on 4 spaces today. But Chuck, how you doing?
Doing great, man. I'm just ready for Thursday. I'm just ready for 7:15 to get here, man. That's Central Time, by the way.
What happens then?
God's time.
Something happened around there. Then that time, something happening. It's a cool shirt you have there. I like that. The
one thing that Chuck and I can always agree on, Big Red is the fucking man. And if you tapped in with us yesterday, Sosa and I had another solid show. I went 2-2, but he did all the heavy lifting, and you already know Austin came through for us once again. They are just a gift that keeps on giving this season. But Sosa, how you doing?
Feeling great, man. Listen, I'm gonna go 3-0 on yesterday. I know I said the Dodgers, but listen, if you bet on the Dodgers after seeing the lineup they put out there, that's shame on you.
That's shame on you for giving that out for after they're all going to be hungover.
If you bet on them with that lineup, I was praying for you. I was because I lost my bet, but I was like, I counted it as a loss immediately. Like it was like the lineup was just a joke. We all know. We heard the story about Freddie Freeman apparently hitting up the manager 10 times to try and play yesterday. It is what it is. But yeah, other than that, the Shakhtar game, first half draw wasn't 0-0. It was 1-1. Orioles did not get to Patrick Corbin, but they did cover the full game total. And obviously Castillo dominated the first 5 for the Seattle Mariners. No complaints there. So yeah, on to today. I don't think we have too much for baseball, but we can get straight into it if you want to. I don't know if anything else. There was really nothing else from last night that I could take away.
My favorite part is when teams just clown on the Nationals for looking like the Walgreens logo because the O's had a solid tweet last night about that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that, but now that I think about it, it really does look like the Walgreens. That'd be very. I didn't ever think of that.
Very similar.
Yeah, teams have been sneaky on it. Get those interns paid.
Absolutely.
All right, we each got one play each, so we'll get into it. I'll start it off because you already know. Brubacher Day. Boy, did the Mets look pretty terrible last night, which makes me feel even better with this one. First 5, team total for the Mets over 2.5 plus 105. Sosa, what are you rocking for today?
One play only. The Houston Astros team total over 5. Some books you can get it at 4.5. It's a bit juice though. Caprillion. Time for that warm up towards the playoffs. That's what I'm expecting from this Houston team. I expect them to get in line here and just turn up. Obviously end up try to get the first seed overall in the conference or in the league, and that's my anticipation at this point for them to start separating themselves again like they usually do. They're a bunch of vets who have all won. They know it's time to finish the season the right way and get ready for that run again. So That's my only play. I believe that. Let me get the odds. It was at 112. Yeah, I got it at minus 108, and that's at over 5 for the Houston Astros team total.
And Chuck, you've dropped plenty of NFL plays on SMQBs on Sundays, but I don't think you ever dropped a baseball play yet for us. So the debut, get it right and never come back, and you're 1-0, and you can put it up in your Twitter bio. So what do you got for us?
All right, well, this is involving my team. I saw the weather this morning out in Minnesota. It is blowing to left field at 12 miles an hour. That is right up Salvador Perez's alley. He loves this ballpark in Target Field. You can sprinkle anytime homer. It's at plus 260 on DraftKings Sportsbook. But for the game, we got 2 bum-ass pitchers, Daniel Lynch and Dylan Bundy. So over 8.5 at minus 115. That's the main play out of that game. So, yeah, there you go.
Love it. We've been fading Bundy for a while this year, so can't disagree with that one. All right, what everyone came here for, make sure to give us that like, follow, retweet, subscribe, wherever you're tapping in with us. And if it's Twitter, if you want to be featured in today's show, hit the link up at the title and jump on over. But we'll bring in Jude as well because he is our Chargers correspondent. So, Sosa, you want to lead it off here because Sunday morning quarterbacks, you're the host. So might as well make you keep doing it, right?
I was filling in for that. You fill in for the guy 1 week, and now it's right. I missed you on Sunday. Let me be the first to say that publicly. I missed you dearly on Sunday. I'm not even gonna lie. It made me appreciate you that much more because doing that, like, it ain't for me, man. But in regards to this matchup, obviously, big divisional game early in the season, same as last year. They played each other. We saw San Diego. We saw the Chargers go into Arrowhead last year, win the game. 2 untimely turnovers from Patrick Mahomes early in the game. And then in the second half, he had a couple of issues where he just kept trying to hit the home run instead of just taking checkdowns. Kansas City also did some really strange stuff in the first matchup. They stopped running the ball when after that week, we saw like the NFL progressively just run the ball like however they wanted against this Chargers defense. So just an odd situation for the first loss. Then obviously later in the year, they played each other on a Thursday night primetime game. Derwin James did not play the second half. Travis Kelce walked it off. So just a little instance. Obviously, I only bring up last year because these are divisional games. Divisional matchups happen twice a year. So we have a lot more frame of reference or frame of data, in regards to players that have played against each other, et cetera, et cetera. That's the only reason I bring up last year. For the most part, I usually wouldn't do that. But you have to when these teams have such a history, especially as recently with the 2 quarterbacks that are going to be featured in the matchup prime time. So first off, we'll go to I think we'll go to Jude. Jude, games in Kansas City. Tell us what your thoughts are on tonight and what you like. And we can go. Well, just tell us your thoughts first, and then we'll get the same from Chuck.
Look, I've had a running theme with the Chiefs Kingdom. I like to call them the fiefdom because, in my opinion, I don't know how you call it a kingdom when you only won 1 chip in the last 50 years. Not impressed. But just got to give Chuck some shit. But here's the thing. The Chiefs are definitely going to win this game to me. Based on what I saw last week, the Chargers are kind of like the same thing, but like a little bit better defense. They were really conservative. It was concerning me just like a lot. Like, I don't know what's happened. It seems like they've regressed a bit. Defensively, they were taking advantage of a really terrible Raiders offensive line. They got spotted 3 extra turnovers and still almost lost that game. If Derek Carr could keep his stuff together when he's under pressure. So I'm inclined to say that the Chiefs are absolutely going to cover this game. I would take that Chiefs money line. I am very much bullish on the Mike Williams on like the over on his receiving yards. I am actually thinking that an anytime touchdown for Jalen Guyton would be a really good look, Keenan Allen is out. I really think that they most likely are going to try to take some deep shots with Guyton out of the slot. DeAndre Carter is also there, but DeAndre Carter's 5'8", so I'm not feeling that as much. I am definitely on the over for Austin Eckler for receiving yards. I am on the over for Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert for their passing yards. And I would also say an anytime touchdown for Isaiah Pacheco. That kid is going to take the reins of the starting job in KC very soon. That KC offense diced up the Cardinals last week. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Chiefs offensive line, top 3 when it comes to run blocking. The only guys that can say that they're better are the Eagles and the Browns. Everybody else, it's an argument. While the Chargers have improved, they are still counting on, Khalil Mack setting the edge, Sebastian Joseph Day and like the rest of their defensive line covering like 2 gaps. I don't know how successful that's going to be against that KC offensive line. So I think they're going to run the rock, but I think they definitely cover. I am on the under on this game as well, though.
Ooh, ground and pound game.
And just for your 2 touchdown scorers, that's Jalen Guyton at plus 600, who was actually on my pick list as well. At the values there, and for every reason you just said, that was about as perfect a breakdown of that team that you could get. And Pacheco's at plus 360 anytime TD. So great value on both players. Really no question. So Lau, let's get to obviously Chuck, you're on a high, I'm sure. A bunch of I told you so's being issued on the Twitter Spaces, et cetera, et cetera. Tell us what you think about tonight's matchup, and if you had a little quick discussion about 15 if you want, and Big Red, who you and Rex fucking love. So go ahead.
I mean, Jude was only talking trash like that just because he's really a Patriots fan and he's still holding that AFC Championship game over our heads. So it is what it is, man. But anyway, yeah, man. Regarding this matchup, the Chargers, they run that same 3-man front that the Cardinals did last game, so we're pretty familiar with that look. I saw where we could take advantage of that if we continue to run the ball like we did last game. Like, we used all of our running backs. Clyde was effective with his touches. Like Jude mentioned, Pacheco, he was effective with his touches, and McKinnon as well, mainly catching the ball at the backfield and doing damage in that area. So I feel like in this matchup, the same thing's going to happen here. I feel like all 3 running backs are going to get utilized in some type of way. And if we do that, we should have no problem winning the game. I've been following the line movement all week. It opened up at -3, and then all of a sudden they finally broke the news with Keenan Allen being out. So that jumped up to -4.5. Now it's at -4. So, but that leads me to believe, man, like, I just feel like the Chiefs should be able to dominate this game. I feel like they could cover that. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like they will cover that. So, money line, but that is the smart play. I agree with you. It is a smart play, but I feel like -4. I feel like you shouldn't be scared to take the -4 at this point. If you can wait to see if it goes down to -3.5, I mean, that would be better. But I feel like the Chiefs can win this game by at least a touchdown, maybe more. And like Jude mentioned, the total and stuff, right? I saw a lot of steam going on the over here. I saw like 74% of the handles on the over, 67% of the tickets is on the over too. So that kind of leads me to believe that also leads me to believe that the Chiefs will be able to dominate the game too. As far as what I'm personally playing, the rest of this stuff here, anytime touchdown, Travis Kelce, it's at -150 right now, currently on DK Sportsbook. Everybody's saying all this stuff about Derwin James and all that, but because like Chargers fans, they made the excuse last time saying, "Oh well, we didn't have Derwin when Kelce was going off and stuff," and we don't even know if Derwin's gonna be on him the entire time. Like, I'm sure Jude is familiar with this guy Kyle Van Noy out in New England. And for what I've heard, he's not that good at covering tight ends.
Not that good's a compliment.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're using Kyle Van Noy inside on early downs to help because Murray is weak sauce when it comes to playing the run physically. They're having Kyle Van Noy in the inside, and then they're bumping him out on passing downs. I'm thinking I like the anytime touchdown for Travis Kelce. Obviously, he's one of the best touchdown scorers in the game. However, the thing for me is like I don't know if he's going to hit the over for his yards. I think it's 75. I don't like that with Derwin James playing in that game.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Interesting.
And then Chuck, the one thing you were saying with this line movement, I think you nailed it with Allen, but the reason why it's came back down and the reason why it hit that hook is the J.C. Jackson news because he's still listed as questionable. So you'll see it drop back down to a 3.5, I think, if he gets ruled in, because that's where early in the week, if you got it at the 3 or the 3.5, I'd be feeling great. And you're just really looking for the J.C. Jackson news at this point. If he's in the game, then I feel like we got to sweat that 3 a little bit more because I think he's the one that really changes it. You guys have been talking about the run game the whole time. I think his impact will be the biggest one missed if he were to be out today.
And that's exactly where I'm going with things. No Keenan Allen. I think the quarterback's still super talented, can still deliver the ball to receivers. I think it's more of them. It's more just run the routes. The quarterback gets you the ball. Trent McDuffie, sucks to see him go down first week. I personally, I originally liked the under. I can understand why all the tickets are on the over. Herbert hasn't played a game against them that hasn't gone over. So it is a fate of public money and public just perception of what we've seen these two teams do against each other. For me, I like Kelsey's catches and yards. I'm not really concerned about. Listen, he can get to anywhere he wants. Also, the receivers that he has now actually makes it easier for him to get open because you're running completely different route combinations that you would have ever run with Tyreek Hill. And I think that most casual sports fans don't realize that. It's like, well, they can just key in on Kelce. Well, if that was the case, then the other guys would all eat. But as you can see, with the way the players are being deployed, it's not an issue. It's somebody's going to be open based on the identification of coverage and where you want to go with the football. That's why, again, there was never a concern for me with no Tyreek Hill, simply because Andy Reid can scheme it up with whomever is playing receiver and whomever is playing running back. I like the Kansas City team total tonight. I like anytime TD for me is Jalen Guyton. And I also am my bad, I just got a text. And I'm also leaning towards Pacheco. I like Pacheco, but I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire to score tonight. I think Clyde is, I think people are not really giving him any credit simply because he's had injury issues. He's also not lived up to the billing of being a first-round pick when he probably shouldn't have been because he was considered a luxury pick for this organization. It's the only reason they took him is because they were like, well, we don't really need anything else, so let's just take a running back. I think he's in for a big year. And I think that, like I said, they can scheme it a bunch of different ways. They have a multitude of weapons and personnel groupings that they can just deploy all over the place. And again, they have great play calling. So the injury to J.C. Jackson, a huge deal based on, the depth of corners that they have. The whole idea that Derwin James is going to take Travis Kelce out of the game is pretty stupid. Because, again, they can scheme it any which way, and he can also run those option routes better than any tight end we've probably ever seen. So that's, he's a white boy who actually has wiggle. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? He runs the routes with a little bit different level of fluidity, just saying. But, yeah, that's pretty much my takeaway from it. I think the game will be a good game. I think we'll get 27-22. 27-24, something like that. But I don't think it's like this 37-31 shootout that everyone's expecting. I just don't see that. That's my personal take.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Mike Williams in the comments, right? Did you know that Mike Williams has only scored when he's played on the road in this rivalry? He has never scored at home when he's played against us. But for some reason, when he come to Arrowhead, that's when he does his damage. Now, with Keenan Allen out, could things be a little different? Maybe, but I don't think so, man. I think Mike Williams is going to continue to do what he does. I got anytime touchdown plus 150. And then Joshua Palmer, that's another name to look out for tonight. I think he has a chance to get in the end zone as well. It's at plus 260 for anytime touchdown, but I'm more of a fan of his yardage. So I landed on 50 plus yards at minus 105.
That's a definite. I think Palmer is going to be taking Keenan Allen's spot in that offense, where he's going to be doing like a lot of that stuff out of the slot. I think Guyton is going to be like that guy where they're going to maybe try to weaponize him on some like deeper shots, because I feel like Snead definitely plays better at that slot corner position, but I feel like they're going to move him outside because maybe in terms of like his size, he matches up well with Mike Williams, and they're not going to be as worried about Palmer. So I feel like there definitely is like some opportunity for the both of them, like on the inside of that offense.
So is anyone taking a ticket on the Eckler 55.5 rushing yards over or under? Because Chiefs rush defense prior, 2 or 3 seasons, Swiss cheese, they've always picked it up by the end, but that's where the Chargers got them the first time, and what Jude was alluding to in his whole intro. So that's where I'm surprised no one's taken that 55.5
because of the game flow. I'm not sure. That's my only issue. I think that you'll be able to run the ball fine, but if they have some like mistakes or some drive stall, they can get behind quick and they might start chucking it, and they do love to throw the football.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, if they had all their horses on offense, then, I could see it. Because, the Chargers, I'm not going to, fully count them out. They could get a running game going, and they could be in it all the way up until the fourth quarter. But like Jude said, with game flow and everything, I wasn't comfortable with that number for Eckler. Mm-hmm. And plus, Eckler, he passes out the backfield too. So
let me see. Combo number for him is, if I can find it. But anyone else got any plays? I got a question here for you, Chuck. You take it first. MVS tonight. Thoughts?
MVS, man. He's got opportunity for a chunk play, but I'm just not sure. I'm just not comfortable with taking them on any props or anything. From last game,
Matrix, Chuck. That's wild.
Uh-oh. I can jump in here for MVS. I don't think he'll be like heavily involved in that offense. He'll be involved in like shot plays. Him and McCole Hardman. That offense is absolutely going to run through Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster. Definitely going to work Sky Moore in there and get the running backs. I feel like if he does do anything, it's going to be more of a fluky type of thing. I wouldn't put my money on it though.
I feel like it's almost a coin flip, especially to make sure we check the fantasy box. If you're going to be starting Hardman, Juju, or MVS each week, sure, you have a little bit more confidence with one than the others, but we've always seen with it's always a coin flip.
Juju every single time. He is a great fit in that offense, but the other guys, it's going to be like occasional shot plays. You're never going to know. Just like Mahomes said to start the season, to be honest.
Yeah, because Hardman showed up week 1. He got the 57 yards and the touchdown, so we'll probably see someone else. For the rushing and receiving yards for Eckler, that's 97.5. So they really put a premium on that because they know.
Yeah.
He's high volume every single time. Like we know he's going to get the touches. The thing is for me is that I don't know how they're going to delegate his touches because I think they want to make sure he's fresh for the end of the game. It's tough to know which one. I think he could end up getting like 40 of each and completely,
just going under by 17. But does anyone else have any last plays, any last thoughts, anything that we missed on that we got to touch on?
Yeah, that was my fault. So that was weird what just happened. I apologize for that. But you guys remember that last game when Michael Burton scored the first touchdown for the Chiefs?
That was when he got hurt and they zoomed in on him?
Yeah, but I feel like something similar could happen here because, because I think a lot of people probably going to expect Kelce to score the first touchdown. And in this matchup, I don't know what Trey Smith's health is. I think he's questionable right now. I don't know if he's going to play or not. But even then, I feel like the Chiefs going to use a lot of those 3 tight end sets in this game. And that's where if they get in the red zone, let's say they get inside the 5-yard line. I feel like Noah Gray can sneak out the whether backfield, whether he lines up at fullback or whether he lines up in one of those 3 tight end sets, and he can get in the back of the end zone and score. So it wouldn't surprise me if he got the first touchdown plus 4,000, or he can sprinkle an 8-time touchdown at plus 800. So
shuffle pass extraordinaire, Pat Mahomes.
Yeah,
bro, it's so funny to me too when they get down to the goal line. Like, why teams aren't used to him doing that shit? Like, he does it at least once.
Who used to do that? Who used to do that and got the 4 straight championship games as well? McNabb.
I forget.
McNabb did it all the time to LJ Smith, man. And then, like what he said, if once you get into the red zone at the goal line, it's wild the stuff he has in his back pocket.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have anything else. Like I said, I like the Chiefs. I think everyone likes the Chiefs. Maybe when the Chargers have everyone healthy, you know what I mean, we'll be able to possibly look at this a little more objectively. But just based on what's been given to us, I think it's you just go, if you're going off what you see, it's a pretty easy decision personally.
The Thursday night injury curse for the road team. Essentially what it is.
It's a fact.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So, but yeah.
Well, that's how we're going to wrap up today's show. We appreciate everybody tapping in. Chuck, Sosa, and I each dropped 1 MLB play to start the show. Then he had plenty of NFL plays shared by Jude, Chuck, and Sosa to be tapping in with, locking with. You don't fade us here. You don't even have to worry about that. And tonight, 7:30, back live on our channel, JD with the college football DFS slate week 3. You got until Saturday to be loading it up, locking it in, but tap in live to help them customize that DFS lineup. But we'll be back at you live tomorrow. Saturday, paid for play. Sunday, you'll probably see SMQBs. Maybe we'll have all 4 of us back again. Who the hell knows? But we appreciate everyone tapping in. Like, retweet, follow, sub. Follow Chuck and Jude on Twitter if you already aren't. We out.
Peace.